There is no doubt that the hardest part about buying a business is in doing the due diligence. It can get complex, and from doing due diligence on multiple businesses, it becomes tiring. And what happens when we get tired? We miss things. It happens to all of us. However, investing, this isn't something that you can afford to do when you're investing. So let me share some of the weight with you. And here are 4 investing hacks that you should know when doing due diligence. So if you actually want to make sure you don't buy a lemon, smash that like button and let's dive in. By the way, for those of you who do hit that like button, thank you. I really appreciate it and it helps the video a lot as well. Also, stay tuned because I have some bonus things that most of us battle with when we're doing due diligence and buying a business that is going to be very, very beneficial for you to comprehend and implement into your strategy when buying a business. First up, profit is in the purchase. This is the biggest investing hack ever. When you buy well, you will not only have a great business, but your life can become a lot easier. Let me give you an example. When you buy a business that has the traffic and the income is trending down, it may look like a great opportunity, but because it's trending down, you have to physically change the direction of that trend, and it costs you more in resources than to change a trend that's already trending up to get it to trending up even more. So what I think you should do is stack the odds in your favor, and what most people do is like to set themselves up for success. And how you can do this when you're buying a website business is buy something that is maybe slightly increasing or even just flat, and it's going to be a lot easier to grow that business and run that business than it is if it's diving off a cliff, obviously. So set yourself up for success and buy a better business because the profit is in the purchase. Not just easier for you in terms of growing the business, but it makes your life less stressful as well when you buy something that's really, really good. Secondly, some people may dislike this one, but buy from brokers if you can. This is a very general statement, but at times it can be safer to buy from brokers. Brokers pre-vet businesses because they don't want to sell dud crappy businesses and have it come back and bite them on the bum. So they have their reputation on the line. That said, not every business a broker sells is a good business. Far from it. But if you're a total beginner, it can be much better and easier to buy from a broker for many reasons other than just the risk in itself. For example, brokers do some cool things for you. They help you get through the due diligence. They help you get the answers, the additional information that you need. And usually it's presented in an easy to consume manner and you can get the information very, very fast. It's the opposite when you're buying an off-market deal. It can be hard to deal with somebody that is trying to run a business, trying to sell the business and run their own life at the same time. They have a lot of balls to juggle and it could take a little bit of time to get back to you. And sometimes they just don't give you the responses you need because they're worn out and tired. Secondly, a broker can reason with the seller when you purchase from them if the price is too high at times. They can reason with the seller to get it off their marketplace a lot quicker and get rid of a client that's wanting too much for a business that they may not actually get, and that can help you get the business at a good price for yourself. Thirdly, finding a business on a broker, let's face it, it's much easier than open public marketplaces where anyone can list any type of website, whether it's profiting or failing. Brokers list businesses that usually have a good track record because they pre-vet and they do their own mini due diligence on those as well. The third investing hack is knowing the expenses versus the owner's expenses. Now, the website or the business, they may have a decreased expense list, right? Maybe they've decreased their expenses so they could streamline the business for more profit to sell at a higher price. But if you have a growth strategy for the business that you're looking at buying, and you need to take that into account, as you may spend more on growing that site than what they were in the last few months of the last year because they want to streamline the business to have it be more profitable. The fourth investing hack is that it's not always what they tell you. It's what the brokers and the sellers tell you is not always often true. Let me give you an example. Some brokers say you can increase the business and the opportunities are to do email marketing or do Google ads or add more content or do some SEO work, all these different things. And the seller may say the same thing as well. All you need to do is do this and you'll be able to grow the business. And they flaunt these opportunities, like dangling a carrot, but it's not really always what they're telling you. You need to be able to read between the lines. And chances are, maybe the seller has tried and failed at doing email marketing or Google ads or doing some SEO work or putting good content out there. Maybe they've just tried and they're trying to make that a selling point for you, but you need to be realistic. You need to ask them, hey, have you done this before? What were the results? Why did it not work? And all those sorts of things. And sometimes it can be true, right? Sometimes the suggestions do work, but a lot of the time the suggestions are terrible ideas and most likely won't work. And I'm being biased here, of course, because I've had a hand in scaling so many businesses, and the external growth strategies that people dangle in front of you, usually the ones that fail the most often. So you need to be realistic and understand what the brokers and sellers tell you is not often always the case. You need to go away and do your own research and find out what work they have done in terms of growth opportunities, what hasn't worked, what has worked, why hasn't something worked, and then why has the other thing worked if it did work, because these are hugely beneficial to you. And lastly, the big bonus. Of course, it's very simple. The more you understand how to do due diligence, this is the biggest hack of all, the better you become at not only identifying businesses, but buying a better business. And this is a big mistake, is that people just try to buy a website without first learning how to do the due diligence. The due diligence is what makes you a better investor. I know. I don't want to get started with people that don't understand the value of due diligence, right? The amount of stories I have of people who have contacted me after they bought a website and they need help because they bought a dud is scary. So please understand this. It's the philosophy of investing. You should understand how to invest. You should understand what to invest in. And most often, why? Why should you invest in those types of businesses? That said, if you don't know how to do due diligence, please let me help you. Go down to the bottom of this video in the description and click my due diligence framework. You can get it for free. It takes the guesswork out of due diligence. I even have a video there for you explaining how to use it and how to do due diligence. So much value in it. It's free. Just don't try and do this alone, and don't try and do this without doing proper due diligence. Make sure you get that resource. YouTube watcher, what's up? It's Jared Krause here. Thank you for watching. I hope you got a lot of value from this. If you did, please consider subscribing. My exploration on YouTube is about to explode. More stories, more polls, more content, more value, more surprise and delight, and this is the time to subscribe.
Hey YouTube watcher, if you thought that video was good, you should check out this video here on the 2 best types of websites beginners should buy. Or check out my playlist on how I made my first 100K from buying websites and how to do due diligence. Check it out. It's an awesome playlist. You'll enjoy it.